All right, folks, let's get this show on the road. On a hot day, we're looking hot out there. Partly cloudy sky, still ample sunshine. A few high-level clouds out there. Pretty much call it mostly sunny here at this point on Texas Street in Alexandria. Let's go up toward Natchitoches, where I think we've got a little bit less cloudiness up in that direction, so mostly sunny. And I bet it was hotter up that direction than it was down here for today. Not the fact that it wasn't hot here, but it was hot everywhere, but some folks sometimes get a little worse, as you know. So significant heat. Another day of it tomorrow. In fact, Thursday will be a strong heat day as well. Well, we've got another Gulf low to track like AL 93 last week. That brought us some rain, and I think this feature will as well. So you want to watch and listen for that. That's one of the things I'll focus on. But also, outlooks will follow the 7 day. I've got a tropical, long range tropical outlook before the 7 day, then the temperature and rainfall outlooks afterwards. Radar not showing anything here locally, but we have seen just a few little showers across portions of St. Landry Parish during the day. In fact, let me go back an hour with that. We can see that developing in the Lafayette area. Just a very few small showers. You can almost put them in a gallon bucket, I guess, down in that area. So that is it. That's all we can muster for today. Looking off to the east, so this is the next feature that will affect our weather. Notice this is coming in the same direction, same pattern as AL 93, with a surface low here attached to a front, convection disorganized around it. And like AL 93, I think this feature will stay disorganized, but we'll watch it just in case. One of the things we also have, of course, is a heat dome. Remember these hot, high pressures there. Why is it so hot? Well, one of the reasons is these heat domes are exactly what they say. This is a deep, hot bubble of air in the atmosphere. And so it's focused over us right now. It will begin shifting to the east tomorrow, but I think it'll even be hotter tomorrow than today. And once we get into the Thursday time frame, we'll be a little bit more focused across the mid-Atlantic region. We'll kind of be on the edge of it. It will still be very hot, but with that little bit of a less influence from the high pressure ridge, the heat dome, we will see rain chances pick up on Thursday. So tomorrow I think is our hottest day. I've got 101 in Wynn Parish, 100 in Natchitoches, and Natchitoches Parish, upper 90s on most thermometers as you see across central Louisiana. I've got Marksville with 100 degrees as well. So the average about 99, the range 95. You don't see that on the map, but I think somebody could be that cool, all right, quote unquote. And I think somebody could be as hot as 102 or 103 across the area. I believe that some thermometers, some areas, because of local conditions, can spike in their temperature reading, and that could happen for the day tomorrow. Futurecast, or what about the rainfall across the area? Nothing this evening to deter your plans. In the morning, back to work. It'll be a very muggy start. Could be a little bit of patchy fog across the area. Then once we get into Wednesday evening, traveling back home, it'll be hot. Hope your AC is working. And Wednesday evening plans, things are gelling around pretty good, but you certainly don't need an umbrella. And by Thursday morning, we've got likewise humidity and a pretty warm start, but the rain chance will begin in the PM hours on Thursday. Tropical interest areas from the National Hurricane Center, they're not watching anything anymore here across the area. So the panoramic view shows things are looking good. But I'm watching, and Nick is watching, this little surface low traveling across the Gulf this week. And again, in about the same position, looks like it gets south of Lafayette, Lake Charles, and begins to dissipate or morph into an elongated area of low pressure we call a trough, as opposed to a center of surface low pressure. So again, that's what happening. And these weird colors, this is what weird, that's upper level energy that creates vertical motion in the atmosphere, and that's synonymous with triggering rain and storms and that kind of thing. So that's why I put that together with the surface low. So tropical possibilities, this is your long-range tropical outlook going into, well into August, in fact, through the 12th. It still looks like the highest chance of anything developing tropically will be off the southeast coast of the United States or down here in the northern Gulf of Mexico. This has kind of been the hot spot lately, and with not much change expected in the global patterns that kind of control these things, I think we'll see maybe the highest possibility in these local areas. But I will tell you one thing about August. Once, if you study the numbers, all right, about 80 to 85% of all storms are named on August 1st or afterwards. So we have the most active part of the season to go. Okay, so let's go into your 7-day numbers. 99 average across Cenla for tomorrow, hottest day probably this summer and hottest of the latest heat spell. So we'll be watching that low in the Gulf. 10%, I threw that in there just in case. Now, Thursday, we get scattered showers and a few thunderstorms, and as hot as it will be, I think it's going to be pretty unstable. So I would not be surprised to see a stray, strong, or severe storm that day. The main risk, of course, would be strong wind, and it could be pretty potent lightning producers as well. Going into Friday, I'm up to 70% there. That's your wettest day, high of 91. 90 on Saturday, scattered showers and thunderstorms continuing across the area. That is direct influence on our weather pattern from that Gulf low. All right, so going into Sunday, 30%, 20 Monday, and back to 30% on Tuesday, closer to where we normally are in July. In fact, about 20-30% is lower than what we typically see. I think we typically see this time of year about at the end of July about 30 to 40%. Temperatures climbing back as high pressure, another heat dome, hot bowl of air, rebuilds and sends thermometers up again starting on Sunday and continuing into the early part of next week. And a quick look at your temperature outlook for the nation. And we're lucky enough to be in the above normal category here across Cenla, another area of above across northern Rockies. And our friends up east in the Great Lakes, they will have cooler than normal weather. And for us, that means a low of 73 and a high of 94. That outlook says we'll be above that. As far as rainfall, 8/10 is typical. This outlook says most rain gauges will catch more than that from July 30th to August 5th. So that is beyond the 7-day. And I've got, of course, another stream be ready for you tomorrow evening about this time. Nick will be ready in the morning. You'll want to listen to what he has to say also. And thanks for your support for Cenla Weather.